about case study method as a research strategy. It's a very popular method when we go with the qualitative data analysis, data collection and all. In many cases, the researchers in the area of psychology or as you say, here, study of human behavior, they go with extensive use of case study method. But in social science, as in finance and all, quantitative data is very important. So at times we go with case study, but it will be including the qualitative as well as quantitative as well. So that is one of the method used for data collection and further analysis. So in our today's class, we will be going with case study as a research strategy. Okay. Now, as I said, case study method is a popular form of qualitative analysis, even though quantitative analysis is also possible with case study method. It involves a careful and most importantly, complete observation of a social unit. And this social unit can be an individual, it can be a family, it can be an institution, or it can be a cultural group, or maybe it can be a company. In social science and commerce and all, we normally go with case study analysis, which is related with studying of a particular company as an individual unit, or maybe we go with a particular community as an individual unit. So the particular thing, the most important thing which you have to understand when we are going with a case study method is there is an in-depth detailed analysis that is being done when we go with the case study method, because here we have made our sample, not sample, our study unit limited to a particular individual or maybe a company. So we are not going with a selective study, we are going with the study of the entire unit, if possible as complete as as it could be. So that is why we say that this is a complete observation of a social unit. And this social unit can be a person, it can be a community, it can be an maybe a group, a family. Say if I want to study about the Birla family, yeah, that is possible. Or if I want to look into the company called ITC, I can go with the complete analysis of all data connected with ITC group. So that is what we call as a case study method. Now, when I'm looking into the characteristics of a case study method, these are the 4 things definitely will be part of every case study. The first one is there would be one single social unit. That single social unit can be a group, can be a company, as I said, and you are studying that as intensively as possible. Now, the basic idea is we need to get a complete picture of what we are learning. And that's why I said there is one single unit, and then the selected unit is studied intensively in a complete form, and every possible effort is made by the researcher to bring a small or big data about that unit under study, concerning all aspects of life or all aspects of operation of that particular unit of study. So that is why this is the plus point. This is the positive thing about a case study, as well as maybe if someone look at it, it can be a disadvantage also. The positive thing is you're going to cover the entire aspect of a particular unit. So it will be easy for you to draw inferences based on your study. And the difficult thing is, conducting an in-depth study involves a lot of effort as well as time, and maybe at times it is expensive also. So that is considered to be one of the drawback of this case study method. Maybe in our class we use different types of cases for solving a particular problem, maybe in marketing or strategic management. We use different cases. In fact, those cases being developed by a researcher who had gone for this method, who went for a complete analysis of that situation. Maybe it can be a situation also, complete analysis, and then he prepared a report on that, which will be called as a case study. right? And when I'm talking about the major phases, as in every research, the first phase is identification, the recognition of the unit for study. So you will first say, if I tell an example, the recent case study which I had done, or I tried to develop as a as a case for solving a problem, is it's a case about the Starbucks group, and their product launch, their new product launch. So I wanted to understand what are the strategies being used by Starbucks as a brand when they are planning to bring their product. So that was one kind of analysis of the techniques, the strategies used by that company when they are thinking of operating in a market like India. So that is, you are identifying a field with a purpose. I want to understand the marketing strategies that is being used by this particular company when they are thinking about a market like ours, an emerging economy where majority, there are a lot number of people, and majority of us are not into the culture of, of their products. So how are they doing it? I wanted to know that. So that is recognition of the status of a phenomenon to be investigated. So I identified that I want to know it. There is a purpose for me. So that is the first stage in case study. And the second one is, say another one, if you want, I can say that an example of the recent one which has been conducted by one of my friend, that is with KSCB. And their pricing strategy. How do they do? What are the factors as a company, KSCB? How do they go with pricing of their service product, and how can they make into? How are they planning to turn their marketing strategies into a profitable one? And is it effective enough? Are they able to make profit through this pricing strategy? All these things she was looking into. So that is another case study where she took the entire data connected with KSCB as a public sector company. Right. So that is also one of the area to be investigated. So we identified that group. And then as the next stage is the same as it happens in every kind of research, where we go with collection of data, then we go with a detailed analysis. We try to establish relationship. But here the important thing is, you are not actually collecting data from different respondents. For you, maybe there is some kind of, it is assumption. The assumption here is there is very similarity, very much similarity in the behavior exhibited by this group. There is uniformity. That is the kind of assumption which we make. If we are going to study about a community, we expect that all people, general assumption, sometimes it may not be true also, but this is a kind of assumption which we make when we are conducting a case study with respect to a group of people. If it is a company, that is fine. If it is maybe an individual, that is fine. But if it is a group of individuals, we may assume that the characteristics being exhibited by members of this group are more or less similar. That's what we expect here in this case. And we go with the in-depth analysis of the factors, and we try to establish, maybe we will have certain objectives, or sometimes, in my case, the two examples which I said, I had some objectives. I wanted to find out what are the strategies being adopted by Starbucks when they are trying to come to a country like India. And in another example, the researcher wanted to study what is the strategy being used by KSCB, and is it profitable? She wanted to understand the financial performance and relate it with the strategies being adopted by that public sector company. In certain cases, we may not have that. I just want to understand, for example, I just want to understand why a student is behaving in such a way inside the classroom. So I don't have any assumption. I really have to find out why, how, or what is the reason. I really have to go with finding out that. So there, in that case, I don't have any assumption. Straight away, I go studying with the behavior, maybe through observation, maybe through participative way. I participate in the group where the student is involved. I try to understand that particular individual, and then I go with a detailed analysis before I come with a suggestion or maybe a conclusion regarding the behavior exhibited by that individual in the classroom. So likewise, there can be with a purpose, or maybe you just want to understand, you don't know what is the reason, you do not have an exact hit into, but you will completely study the situation before arriving at a conclusion. So that is actually an example of a case study. So you go with a detailed diagnosis. That's why we say that is one of the important phase in a case study method. Maybe it will take more time than we go with a quantitative analysis, because every unit that is related with that particular situation, or which is related with that company, or maybe related with that group under study, need to be studied. And then the researcher, as in every case, come up with an implication or come up with a conclusion regarding the position, which talks about, yes, this company ITC as a group is no, it's on a positive note. They have come up with many strategies which is working good for them. Maybe in future they can think of these things that is being conducted, nor that is being ventured by similar companies. Likewise, I will go with the implication. And the follow-up is, now in a case study, it's very much skewed to a particular company or a situation or a group of individuals. So maybe things can change after some time, because now I have published the case. That's why you can see that, in Harvard case studies or in any type of case studies, they often go with revisions. Maybe they come up with a situation, a study of the company in the year 2009. Again, they add by, when they reach to 2017, they add little more. They expand that case study. So likewise, there is a continuous follow-up that is required. Now, you might be wanting to ask me, so is case study a method for doing research? Yes, you can conduct a research using this method, where you identify one unit or maybe a group of individuals before you go with a complete study. It is a method, and you prepare the report as you prepare for other type of research, maybe a quantitative research, or when you go with a research based on sample, all that. The same way you do that. Only thing is that you will be covering every aspect that is connected with the unit under study. So that is a method, well accepted method, especially if you are aiming at a qualitative form of research. Because now one reason for that is human behavior cannot be explained by looking into one or two aspects. You have to understand the entire situation into which that human being is into, or maybe the external as well as the internal environment of that particular person, before we arrive at a conclusion regarding the behavior exhibited by that person. So in that case, you will go with an in-depth analysis, right? And this is just a general understanding about the type of case studies. It's not complete in itself. It will vary depending on the situation in hand. But generally, you can find case studies in all these categories. One is a snapshot study. Like, as I take a photo, how is it? When that's otherwise called as cross-sectional study. When I'm approaching a company, how does the company? I analyze all the details connected during that period and prepare a report on that. That is at that point of time. That such type of case studies are called as snapshot study. And the longitudinal study is just the opposite. In case of longitudinal, or as we call over the time period, maybe the inception of the company was in 1991. from 1991 till 2021, what are the important the kind of important situations in that company's functioning, and what are the factors, what are the products, what are the product lines, or what are the strategies, which are the market to which it has entered for operations, who are the important personnel connected, everything from the inception till now. So that can be quoted as a longitudinal study. You study with over the years, you relate it to the years of inception, so from inception till now, or something like that. Or maybe you will relate it to the company before merger and after merger. Before merger, how was the company, how the company was performing, and what is the result of this company after merger. If that is the case, then that you will go with pre and post study. That is, before merger, what was the company's operational strategies, and what are the features, what is actually the psychological feeling of the employees after merger and before merger. So you will take care of all these studies and you will make a report of it. Maybe you wanted to know whether this merger was good for this company or not. You wanted to prove whether this strategic decision took by the company, decided and taken upon by the company, was right or wrong. So that is actually pre and post study with respect to case study. There are any number of examples where you go with pre and post study. Maybe you wanted to know how schooling has helped a particular individual to come out and to be active in the society. So you wanted to have a look into how he was during his school days, and now how is it? What are the contributions made by that school environment? So pre and post, likewise. Patchwork study, in fact, patchwork study is a wholesome study. Maybe when I'm talking about a longitudinal study, I talk from the inception till now. But patchwork, the main difference between a longitudinal case study and a patchwork study is you are trying to answer a particular question or a problem that is connected with a unit from different angles in case of patchwork. You wanted to know how could State Bank of India be the #1 bank in India? How could they become #1 bank in India with largest number of branches and all? So you are looking up from the starting till now, and then you are adding many things like their mergers, or maybe the business decisions being taken by the company, or the share market purpose. So different angles being put into one for studying SBI, State Bank of India, as the #1 public sector bank. So that is actually a patchwork. You're patching it up. You wanted many type of information about SBI, so you are patching it up from different angles. So that's all about patchwork study. And then exploratory, we know that exploratory is the first kind of study in a particular area. We want to know. We want to actually conduct a preliminary study before going into an in-depth study in that particular area. So when I want to study about, and say I wanted to study about CUSAT as a university. So before going into an in-depth study about Cochin University of Science and Technology, I wanted to understand a general idea or preview of the university as a whole. So I go with conducting an exploratory study. Maybe in that case, I will not approach every unit who are connected with CUSAT as a university. I will be like, going with the important personnel. So I will be collecting secondary data for conducting a case study. I may not go for collecting primary data at my stage. So that's actually a preliminary study with respect to an area under study. I want to go into an in-depth study at a later stage, but before that, before identifying, before taking up any decision, I really want to understand the situation. So in such a case, I will conduct an exploratory study. Now, explanatory study is basically a case study which is trying to explain the cause and effect relationship, or some kind of relationship, cause and impact, or you are trying to identify the variables and also coming to a conclusion regarding the relationship between those variables. So in case of, as I said, when I'm going with the the performance or strategic decisions taken by a company. I wanted to know when does a company take up a decision to go abroad. Right. So I took the case of a particular company. Maybe I wanted to take up the case of Tata Group of companies. So I took that as my case study. Then my purpose, I have a purpose. I want to understand what are the factors that will be leading a company to go for to go with their operations into a foreign market. So that is actually, I'm explaining, yes, a company, Tata Group of companies, they took the strategic decisions to go into a foreign market in all these conditions after examining all the possible data connected with that. So there is an explanation for some factor. There is an answer to some question, which will be in the form of either cause and effect, which will be, it can also be in the form of correlation, you're establishing relationship. It can also in the form of factors leading to that particular incident, likewise. So that is explanatory study, right? So these are the basic types of case studies which we may be conducting when we are looking into social science research. One is just how it is. I want to know, I want to have an idea about this particular company. I will report as it is. I'm going to look into all the aspects and prepare a report on that. Another one, longitudinal studies, in the sense from the time of inception, or maybe during the last 5 years, during the last 10 years. I want to know the performances of company, or maybe I want to know I want to study the behavior of a particular group, community, how they have been. The government is coming up with a lot of measures for the tribal community in Kerala. So what is happening to that group? So I might select one particular tribal community, and I'm going to study the entire group as a whole. So that's actually a over the years. So that is longitudinal study. Pre and post means there would be occurrence of an event before and after. I'm going to study that. I said the example of merger or acquisition, before the merger and after the merger, how the company is performing. If I'm making a comparative study, yes, that's a pre and post study. Patchwork is I want to answer a question in its whole sum. So I will collect data from everywhere to patch it up, so that it becomes one whole thing. So that's actually a patchwork study. Exploratory is first of it. I want to have a basic understanding about a particular aspect, so I go with that. Explanatory is there is an explanation that is furnished regarding a particular aspect, or maybe there is a reason that is being given, or some factors are being identified which has led to the occurrence of that particular event. So this is actually, say I want to learn about the recent flood in Kerala. So what I did is I conducted a detailed study. I examined it from every angle and came up with the factors that led to the occurrence of flood in Kerala. Because so that I can come up with some disaster management solutions or disaster management activities in future, so that the economy will not be affected with such type of natural calamity in future. So that's actually an explanatory study. So these are the different types. Now, this is the last part. I have given many examples. Now it is your turn. You have to look into this question and come up with different possible areas where case study method can be applied. Don't quote the same examples which I've said. The board is in your court. Now you have to look into the situations in which case study method can be used and give you reasons for that. The reason for why do you say that it can be conducted in so and so situation, or why do you say that yes, case study is the best method in such a situation. So I want each one of you to arrive at minimum of 5 situations. Maximum is it is for you to decide, but you have to come up with minimum 5 situations in which case study method can be used and preferred over other methods.